Okay. Go ahead.
My name is Pope Francis. I'm a public health in training. When I got to know about the program, I actually went for UI UX design because of my passion for how I love surfing the internet, and I also want to know how it's being designed and the whole process behind it. It's just about the curiosity and new experience for me.
Okay. Nice to meet you.
Good morning. My name is Daniel. I'm an observer by profession. With Nigerian growing economy, I feel that product design be an edge for me. I also have a space to get
Okay, I'm Edima Steven, and I chose product design because I have a background in graphic design, and I feel like from there I could navigate to product design. And it's also to satisfy my curiosity and to broaden my knowledge because I've come to realize that the whole experience you get to acquire from using a product largely depends on product designers. And so if I'm using an app and then I'm like, why isn't there this feature? Why doesn't it have this? So in the course of my study, I've come to realize that it's a shortcoming on the part of the product designer that those features aren't available. So those are some of the reasons I decided to go in for UI UX.
My name is Gobi Esther. I choose UI UX because I'm a creative person. I love creativity, so I want to enhance my knowledge on creativity.
Hold on first. I don't think they want hello, Lily. I think I'll be here with us.
Okay, she says she wants to restart her router. She's having network problems. So while she joins, I think I need to also say this. The reason why we decided to bring someone like I call her Lizzie, she's been a friend, is because she's actually working with AltSchool Africa. She, all the most of the interface you see on their platform, she designs it and she does so much more amazing. So it's good to hear from those who are actually making money from it. So the intention of this session, okay, Flusha, are you back? The intention of this session is to make sure that you learn as much as you can from her. and we're going to make sure that you also practice. That's why we have the laptops here. But have fun with that. Are you back?
Yep, I'm back.
All right. We forgot to pray this morning to bind and cast the network issues.
I don't know what's wrong. But hopefully it's working now. Yeah, we started it.
Continue.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
that actually anytime I go through, especially all the mental apps, I'm always very intrigued by how they function, their UI and stuff like that. So that's been my dream actually to be able to design something like that. So I believe I'm the right track.
Nice.
Okay, my name is Chris Samson.
Nice to meet you.
My name is Ebubo Israel. And I'm interested in learning it because I love design, stuff like that. So when I noticed I'm so good to my phone, I just say that being a digital designer will go a long way for me than going to learn stuff outside the phone without I choose learning yet.
Good afternoon. My name is Paul Oga. Why I choose UI UX because I've always been fascinated with the layout of mobile apps and websites, and I have little knowledge of graphic design.
Okay. Nice to meet you, Paul.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
I chose it because it will help me solve real life problems as it affects real life people. Thank you.
Nice.
Okay. Okay, so I think that's all we have for now in the agenda.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to get started now, and I want to uh begin with disclaimers and expectations in product design. Over time, I've seen people come into design simply because they feel that since it is no code, then it's the most easiest of all the tech careers. So a lot of people come into it with the intentions to do very little and expect something huge at the end of probably their training or their program, which I can tell you that it's not true. Just like every career or whatever you want to do, you have to be willing to put in effort. And I can tell you for a fact that product design is intensive and time consuming as well. You have to study, you have to put in effort because just like you now, there are a lot of product designers, there are a lot of new people wanting to get into design. So therefore, in order to be unique, in order to showcase what you got, you have to be like 150% extra. So when other people are doing 80%, 100%, 120, you're doing 150, you're doing 200. Because in a pool of product design, maybe you are competing for the same opportunity. It is the only person that stands out that gets the privilege of securing that opportunity. So Take it off your mind that it is bread and butter. If you put in effort, yes, it could be bread and butter, but you have a lot to study, you have a lot to practice. So you should prepare your mind that this thing would take time. And also, individual learning. The courses or the classes cannot do 100% for you. The mentor cannot do 100% for you. You should be willing to learn by yourself. You should be willing to go outside of your comfort zone, talk to people, ask questions, be super duper curious about how things work in design. No matter how little it is, you go on YouTube, there are a lot of tutorials on YouTube. Oh, how to do this. You go on Medium, you read articles, watch people design. Like you should just have that drive for learning by yourself as well, because there is nobody that can teach you 100%. So things that you would know or by yourself, your mentor can only be there to guide you. Because if you're doing self-taught, you can go this way, you can go this way, which are not so necessary for you. But when you have someone to guide you, it makes your journey faster. Not that is going to make it less difficult, but you're able to use your resources on the most important thing. So have it at the back of your mind that you will learn by yourself. You go outside to also find stuff for yourself. And uh, in terms of, yes, some people having crazy expectations and say, oh, by the end of 3 months, by the end of 6 months, I want to be able to land a well-paying job. I'm not saying it's not possible because it was after 6 months of intensive learning from that I got my first job. But the reality is that if you're not, except someone that is dropping everything they are doing, that is when you can say at the end of 4 months, at the end of 6 months, you want to land a well paying job. You should make it like a daily journey, or you're not so pressured that okay, I want to land a job almost immediately. When you imbibe it, when you embrace it by yourself, okay, this is what I do now, and then you're committing yourself to it 100%, the job is going to come. Can you see hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Hello, can anyone hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, okay. So, and as I was saying, learning is continuous. Even if you're 10 years in design, learning is continuous because there is no perfect designer. There is all this big or top people that you hear in design. There is no perfect designers. So learning is continuous. You should have that spirit of learning, that learning spirit. Every situation you get yourself into, you just want to learn. So I guess those are the disclaimers I just want to put ahead so that you're not pressuring yourself to the extent that is going to make you burn out. Because the moment you're starting to experience burnout, you start going to resent the whole thing, and it's not just going to make sense to you again. So have it at the back of your mind that okay, this is a journey that you're taking, and in order to enjoy the journey, you have to embrace every part of it. You have to be willing to grow in it, not just rush and so. And uh product design, I'm sure that you've been able to take classes on uh, the courses for this week, or the topics for this week, and it's saying it's user personas. So can one or two persons tell me what they've been able to get from uh, the classes they had this week? Any volunteer?
Who wants to say? Who wants to share?
Okay, so I don't know for everyone, but this week I learned design thinking workshop, and it's a process whereby you get everyone who's going to be both you end users of this product and stakeholders into a room. Call it. It could be online, yeah, it could be on site, depending on what's available, and then it's a process of brainstorming, testing, researching, so as to be able to come up with what is feasible.
Okay.
It's a design thinking workshop. Some of those are things you can do it probably just by yourself and carrying out research. But if you're embarking on a project that would impact an entire society and so on, depending on the nature of the project, you might need to carry out design thinking workshop where you get people who are who are higher than you in the field, and then people who will be using it so that they could serve as they were referred to as stakeholders, so that it becomes a shared idea and a shared product. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much for that. Who else? Is there any other person? Any other person?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, since when you want to design a product, there's no possibility that you can get everyone's response at that time. So the user personas are, let me say, fictional characters that you think or you get their ideas or their response or feedback, how they want the product to be, how how they want the product to be and how they are going to react to the product. Because you don't understand, for example, if you want to design a product for farmers in the rural community, and maybe you can go there to find out, you can just assume based on a couple number of people, what do they want, how can I get this?
Mm-hmm. Hello. Okay. I'm back on. All right. I was able to get part of what the person on blue was saying, and to a large extent, that is correct. So I'm just going to tell us a small story about how you can visualize.
Any other person?
Hello?
Yes, we're with you. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can.
Any other person who wants to share? Okay, I think that's all.
Okay, that's fine. Uh, what the two of them said is, not far from what design is all about. The first person mentioned design workshop. That is you brainstorming the ideas for solving a particular problem. Designers are problem solvers. That is what they call themselves. So there is a problem that you want to use design to solve. So in order for you to achieve, because you want to solve a problem, you have to have an idea of what you want to solve. You want to profile solution to something. So you need to think. It's not as if you're just going to wake up and be like, this is the solution to this. So design workshop brings together designers, developers, the CEOs, every stakeholder that has an input on that product, on that problem. And everybody chips in here and there on how to arrive at a solution that is cost effective, that is usable for the users. And also when it was talking about the user personas, such that you cannot serve to everybody that of the prospective users, the people that will use the product. So therefore, you pick representative of that product, of people that you're trying to solve the problem for. Assuming you're trying to solve problem for university graduate, or let's say undergraduate in school, obviously you can't go to every undergraduate or every university to ask questions that far with this, but pick a certain representative that you feel that okay, this is the problem they are facing. They can be tell you certain things, and with that you form the personas. So as I was saying, I want to tell us a story. You can visualize the end of a product development. So let's assume that uh, you want to celebrate a birthday party for your 5-year-old daughter or niece, or however it can apply to you. But this person is a 5-year-old child, and you want to celebrate the birthday. So obviously, when you are inviting people, when you are sending out invitations, you invite little children, right? But these little children cannot come with most of them cannot come alone. They will come with their parents. Maybe their parents, your older sibling brings them. So when you're trying to look for what to cook for this your guests, the guests that are coming, and probably you're with your chef and your husband, just a simple gathering of you discussing what are we going to cook, what are we going to share, how is it going to be, and everything, you know, and everyone keeps on chipping in. Oh, why don't we cook rice and chicken? Another person say, no, let's do rice and fish. Another person will be like, fish is it looks like we are broke, and fish, you know, and everyone keeps chipping in their opinion. That is where the design comes in. Let's just call that the design. Know you have. People start saying, oh, some children cannot eat chicken. No, chicken is too hard to cook it. So, okay.
Okay.
So can does not like fish. She refuse
Hello.
bringing their whatsoever had what do you like to eat. And people to come to I'm
Okay. Yeah, we've lost you for 360 seconds. Can you hear us now? What is So let's wait for her to join. Welcome back.
So sorry. I really don't know what is wrong with the network this morning. I'm so sorry, but I'm going to fix it. And hopefully next time it's not going to be like this. But yeah, so as I was saying, everybody chips in their opinion. That is when you're brainstorming how to solve this problem. So you're also now going to all the ideas that everybody's bringing. You put it on a scale. Which one is cost effective for me? Me as a mother, do I have the money to buy eggs? Do I have the money to buy fish? To buy both of them? Can I buy both egg and fish? Since it is said that okay, some children don't eat eggs, some children don't eat fish due to preferences and all that. I leave that. And we also think again, okay, the people that are going to come in are not only the children, their parents are going to be there. You can't say that just because you're coming to a child's party, me as an adult, you are giving me rice and egg. When it's not as if I'm hungry in my house. So that is another set of user. Let's just assume that is another set of user coming to the party, which you have to take care, right? The second or the primary user is the children. We are focusing on the children. But just because we are focusing on the children does not mean that you have to neglect the secondary users. It's not possible. So you also have to look at all these nuances. That is why research is very important. You cannot just keep assuming things using your own reality, using your own circumstances. You want to design a product and you are thinking that if it is me, this is what I would do. You're not the user of your product. The research is very, very important. Talking to the prospective users, it gives you a completely new direction other than what you're thinking. Because if you're using yourself as a user, there is going to be bias. You understand? So that is why uh, after research, you be able to talk to certain people, uh, different kind of people. Let's assume for a digital product now, leave the story I was saying. A digital product like probably an app that can help you to pay school fees, right? An app that can help you to pay school fees, whatever level, primary level, secondary level. The primary user at that point, you're going to have conflicting users. You cannot say the users are students because some might not be able to operate a phone, some might be too young to operate a phone. So you also have a persona for their parents, right? Okay, some parents might be navigating the phone. So you cannot make the product solely for the children and for the students. You also have to consider secondary users. That's why when you're designing a product, one single persona is not advisable to do. because when you're doing one single persona, you're neglecting every other secondary users that can use that product. So if you're uh, designing for just one type of user, later on your app is going to have problems, because yes, I can use this product, but this person beside me cannot use it because you've not catered for this person. That's why on some products you're going to see ability to switch to dark mode, ability to use parental controls. They're just knowing that okay, for this product, different kind of persons can use it. We Everybody's not the same. We have disabled, we have blind, we have different various categories of users. So having to say that you're designing just one persona is not advisable for your product. When you're designing, it's always advisable to have between 3 to 5 persona. You think, okay, this thing I want to design for this problem I'm trying to solve. Who are the categories, or who are the type of people that it is affecting? There is no one product that is going to say, okay, it's just one type of persons. No, I'm trying to think about it now. Look at WhatsApp now. WhatsApp is for different kind of people. Some people don't post at all, post memes on WhatsApp. Some will tell you that some don't even use their profile picture. Some don't. They only chat there. Why some post memes, some does business, different categories of business, and everybody is going to enjoy it because they've been able to almost cater for every category of user. So when you writing personas for WhatsApp now, you have different type of personas. Okay, the gentle ones, the uh, very shy or the reserved ones. You have the ones that was scattered everywhere with their memes, their friends posting. And you have the business people. Okay, this person does business on WhatsApp. You message them something, welcome to blah blah blah. you know. So if they had only said that, okay, WhatsApp is a social place, so you have to be social, everybody has to be social, the fact or the ability for someone that is reserved to use that kind of a product, you're limiting it, because I'll be like, I don't want to be everywhere. You can't force me to be everywhere. So therefore, I won't use it. And the moment you don't have users for your product, how are you going to make money? And if you're not making money, how will you have something to, continue the business? So it dies. So your users are very, very important, user research, UX, the U that you see in the UX UI, it is user. So for it to appear twice, it's telling you that it is very, very important to focus on your users. Your users are priority, because without users, there is no product. So user personas are just, let me just quickly run through what I have here. They are fictional characters. It is not as if you pick your friend and start writing everything about your friend. No, they are fictional. That is based on your research. You've done a research for uh, a product or a problem that you're trying to solve, and with what you've gotten from the research, not your own thinking, not you forming one and two together. It is what you've been able to get from your research. Yes, research can be a bit biased sometimes, it can be a bit biased, but 80 to 90% of the time, you want to ensure that you are creating personas based on the research that you have done. You cannot just, I cannot tell you, oh, Mr. Paul, Mr. Okon, please, I have a product I want to design. And then I'm telling you that, okay, can you create user personas without me having uh, pre-information, without going out to ask people, is this even a problem? Because most of the times, some people come to you, I want to design this, and you're like, is this a problem? Deep down, you are seeing it as this is a very simple thing that another thing could do. Until you go out there to find out that, okay, this is actually something that people are, suffering from or battling with. And sometimes you find out that what you thought was a problem wasn't a problem. Another thing was the problem. So research is super duper important. Like, and part of the tools that help you to analyze your research finding is the user personas. And what you creating the user personas will help you do is user needs. I'm going to quickly show us some user personas that I've created over time. Can you see my screen? Yeah. So this is actually an excerpt from a course I was taking, but basically, so more of personas, they are more than people. Personas are more than people. They are distilled essences of real users. In user experience design, we use personas to build empathy with target users and focus on their world. So when you say empathy, I don't know whether that was addressed in the course you do. Empathy is just you putting yourself in this person's shoes. If it was you, how would you do? That's simply empathy. You should always create personas from observations about real users. Personas should never be invented out of your assumptions about your users. If you've not seen it, if you've not edited, if you've not, done anything or saw anything about it, it's just in your own imaginations. I don't think it should be in your persona because you must map your user needs to your design's functionality. You must first clearly define the user needs and the users. So if you done or design something now and you present it to someone, what a problem solver is going to ask you is what problem are you trying to solve? Is it just the aesthetics? What is the problem that we are looking at here? So if you've not been able to know the needs of your users, how would you then design something that is tackling their needs and their problems? So, as designers, we shape personas iteratively. We divide users into manageable groups and represent each with a typical embodiment. You see these manageable groups. When I said you cannot just have one type of user, there is no way you can have one type of user. So, because you have different types of users, is the reason you might use just one person to represent each group, right? And this is a great one, I'm sure, or I would assume that you had that in your what's it called, but I'm just going to rush through this. Describe several situations prompting the personnel to use your product. So, as I've said, for the student, what's it called that I was telling you about to pay school fees. Okay, someone wants to pay school fees. Okay, you come into the app, you select your school, you select the session you're trying to pay for, you pay your amount, you slot in your card, you make payment, and then at each point you're thinking what problem can arise in this flow. So when you want to pick your school, is it that your school was not listed properly, or the arrangement of the school name, or the interface was not just conducive enough for you to make the selection, just like the former GT app. That app was really, really shitty when you're trying to select the bank you want to transfer to. So you try to imagine scenarios. You include everyone involved in the project so they will accept the persona or advice revisions. I can count the number of times that I've worked on a project and we are all coming together, me explaining the personas and they're like, okay, no, tweak it here, tweak it there. This is not this is not the real representation of what we're trying to do. Send them the persona to use in their work, ensure everyone develops scenarios, make continuous adjustments. You keep on adjusting. It is iterative process. So this is an example of a persona. You see, uh this is Rebecca. You can see this is not a real person, right? This is a persona created based on a research. She's 26, she's a front developer, BSc, she's single, she's yeah, online location, blah blah blah. And music is essential to Rebecca's life. She's listening to tunes almost every second of her life, particularly while working. Things are already aligning for me. She's a front end developer, particularly while working. She's a remote worker. Chances are that she works more from the house, or even if not from the house, she does a work that involves deep thinking. So obstacles Rebecca faces: too busy to explore new music artists she might like. Streaming music consumes a lot of data. This is a problem. This is the problem that the app is trying to solve. How will Rebecca interact with Spotify? Questions Rebecca will ask: how do I keep updated on new releases by artists I follow? Because she's too busy, right? How do I learn of new artists I haven't heard of? Can I listen to music in a data efficient manner? Streaming music consumes lots of data for her. So she has to, how can I listen on both my MacBook and my iPhone? This is telling you that because she's a front end developer, she will be mostly on her PC, right? So she would probably want to listen to music on her system and her phone. Just something I do too. So who influences Rebecca? Arts, music charts, hormone taste, friends, and co-workers. Rebecca's situation, goals, motivation. She wants to listen to great music to keep her productive at work. She wants to be able to relax and unwind at the end of the day. Superior music quality for full enjoyment of tracks. Expand the circle of music artists she listens to. Rebecca's story. Music is a big part of my life, blah, blah, blah. So this is telling you when you're designing as a designer with this simple what's it called now, persona that you're looking at, you're having a modern feel in your head. This person is she's 26, she's a young person. You not go and start designing for the ages. That is the first thing. This person wants to be able to listen on both MacBook and iPhone. You should know that you're designing something responsive, something that this person can use on the system and they can use on their phone. So that is number one. Responsive design is compulsory at this point. Also, can I listen to music in a data efficient? This person should have the ability to download music while they're listening to it, download it so that at a later time they can listen to it without needing data. How do I keep updated on new releases? You should know that okay, maybe at this point you send notifications. The notification has to be uh, on point thing. You understand? So this is actually telling or giving you an idea. You're not just going into Figma or Adobe XD with your own mind that okay, this is what I want to go and do. Something is pushing you. Another example here is this one that I designed myself. So this person is a computer science high school teacher. The frustrations the frustrations are on Twitter. This is actually about Twitter. Receives unnecessary notifications that distract him from the main purpose of being on the app. Misses out on time sensitive information because he disabled push notification. Always having a hard time finding important messages. These are the goals. This is other brands that this person uses as well. This is their personality, this is their demographics, and this is a quote from them, and this is a bow. So this overall is giving you an insight into how you can solve a problem efficiently. If you just upload the user personas, what some product managers used to do, they'll carry the user personas with your design, they'll put it side by side, and they'll start looking at the frustrations and the goals on it, tick it. So when they look at your design, they see, okay, this person, this one, this one, and that. How have your design solved it? They look at the next goals of all the personas that you've created. It can't be 100%, but at least every of the personas are benefiting from your design, even though it's not 100%, but because you can't cater to everybody 100% with, there will be some conflict somewhere. You have some trade-offs at some point, but the personas are going to push you in the right direction, not doing your own thinking. You understand? So, lastly, check on personas for accuracy. We build businesses on beliefs about our customs that are backed by data and psychology. You cannot say, even you want to start a business now, you cannot say you won't do research. You go outside, you make your findings. You want to sell, let's assume you want to sell food. You go around before you make your selection. Are they selling food anywhere close to me? Before it will be a case of fighting about customers. What kind of food do people eat around here? Imagine me coming to Calabar now to say I want to come and start selling food. and then I'm selling amala. I'm selling the food we eat here in the southwest. I'm setting myself up for failure because I have not made sure to research about the kind of people that I am going to be serving. So when I finally start my shop or my restaurant and nobody is coming in, I should not be surprised because I only jumped into because there was money in my hand and I just built the fine restaurant. It was really beautiful, like extremely beautiful. But the food there, people cannot eat it because they're not used to it. So that's how a very beautiful design can be. Your design is super beautiful, the fonts, the colors, everything, but it's not solving a problem. In few days, when people are tired of how fine it is because it can't solve their problem, they'd rather go back to the one that is looking like 1990 app, but it's solving their problem. People want their problem to be solved because you're not paying me to use your product. So why would I say because it's fine I should get stuck on it even when you're not making my life easier? You understand? So UX research is an excellent way to put our assumptions to the test and spot inconsistencies. When you talk to people, when you research, you are able to have something to back up whatever step you want to take, not you working based on your assumption. Studying our customers allows us to create more detailed and relevant personas. When you're doing your interview, you watch every little thing they do, what they say. Some people, what they are going to be saying is different from what they are going to be doing. You ask them, do you like this product? And they'll be like, uh, I like it. Because their body language is saying something else. But when they said yes, you would not take yes for an answer. You can prop for that. Why that expression? Then they will break it down to you. It's just this one, it's just that this one, it's just that this one. So you have to study them properly. What are they saying? Is what they're saying. Does it match what they're doing? You know, Having accurate personas is a vital asset for the commercial success of a product. If you're creating wrong personas for your product and you're designing the wrong design, because the moment you have a wrong persona, your designs are going to be wrong. And if you're having a wrong design, there is no way to want to bring in the right user that is going to use your product to make more money for the company. But personas become outdated over time. An example, an example is seen um, in this matter. If you remember back then, I don't know who used to know back then, when we want to celebrate our loved ones, we are going to upload their pictures on our profile. That's what we did back then because it was no way for you to say you want to put this person on yours. But today now, no, but some people don't even use profile picture anymore. You post it on your status, happy birthday. So for that kind of a persona that you've created, it would have changed. It would have been iterated. They will have made, constant changes on top of that particular persona. So it becomes outdated over time because people change. The world is growing, everything is, developing. So you can't expect people to remain the same way they were. So therefore, your app also has to change, and before your app can change, the personas have to change. You get so to better suit the needs of our customers, their profiles need to be updated regularly. User research is a great way to keep them relevant. Because I've designed something now, or even after we've launched, I will not say, okay, thank you very much. I'm not doing anything again. Very soon people will dump your product. Look at GT now, they had to onboard everybody from their former app to the new one. I've not even been able to, get on the new app yet. But when they saw that over time people are complaining about their product, they had to design something else. I'm sure they went to do research. I'm sure they did not even do research because a lot of people have been complaining on Twitter. A lot of these designers did a redesign. I almost did a redesign for GT Bank too because the app was really, really frustrating. So you keep on doing your research, you keep on talking. Oh, how does this do for you? If you use Piggyvest today, just today, I saw new changes in Piggyvest app. Yeah, interface. It changed. It was super duper clocked before, like the way they stack the savings thing. But today they were able to. I was able to see a distinct difference between the savings and whatever. And I'm sure that was as a result of research. Probably they spoke to some users and some users told them that, oh no, that app is just so stressful. I can't use it. And they have to listen. If you don't want to lose your customers, if you don't want to use your users, you make research, you listen to them, you brainstorm on what they've said, you come to a reasonable solution, reasonable for the company and reasonable for the users. Because some users they can almost tell you that you should fly just so that they can you can satisfy them. So whatever thing would not fly for your company, you have to everybody have to come to a consensus. Okay, this is working for the company and this is working for the users. You get so those are the ways you can actually, come to a conclusive solution for both of the company and the users. So yeah, that's what I've got on the user personas. And yeah, you were supposed to actually create your own personas, but I guess that will be done um, as an assignment actually. Yes. So do we have questions? Any questions? Questions. Questions? Yeah.
Yes, there are questions.
Okay. Let's see.
Okay, I think slightly you have answered one of them, but I'll ask regardless. The first is um, you mentioned
Okay, let me mute my.
you made mention of aesthetics and functions, and over time I've seen this conversation play out. People are work designers, they're more concerned about beautiful designs and not the functions. And I noticed this, I remember Pampe, when I started using that app, it was so beautiful to look at. But then recently, I realized that the recent updates, a lot of the colorful stuff has toned down. So I'm someone who likes colors. And I've heard what's wrong with incorporating functions and the aesthetics? Is there any problem with that? Why is it that
Bring it down a bit. That's it.
why is it that you'd have people downgrade your presentation the moment they realize that there are like flashy colors in it. So I'm wondering why is that? Because I understand that it must be functional. So if you do your research and then you incorporate every kind of function that is needed, but then there are colors. Don't think that the colors will just, you understand, disqualify it. That's the first question. I don't know. May I ask all of it all together and then you answer? Or one at a time?
So that I don't forget, let me answer this one, if that's
Okay.
okay. Okay. So there is a particular quote that a great design philosopher says. It says, "Function over form," and that is the functionality comes before the aesthetics or how it looks. So it's not as if having so much colors in your product is bad, but there is something called color psychology as well. That is saying that colors have their meaning, colors have the emotions they evoke in people. And when you learn more, I don't know, I'm sure you're going to get there in colors. You are not, the rule of color says that you should not use beyond three colors in your product. And that is even in a ratio. There is a ratio for the coloring that is 60/30, 60/30/10. Yeah, such that it's just your accent that is going to be 10%, but you have your primary color. So having so many colors, if it's about colors now that you're saying, having so many colors in your product is a very bad practice because you're evoking different emotions. If you look at food apps, most food apps, you mostly see red and orange. And that is because red has been attributed to anger, satisfaction and all that. So you hardly see a food hub saying they want to mix red, they want to mix red green, they want to mix blue just because it's beautiful. No, the function should come first. Are we serving the purpose? So the moment we're serving the purpose, the aesthetics is just a secondary whatsoever. And as a rule of thumb, your colors to be maximized to three. As a matter of fact, the current project I'm working on, I'm using just one color, such that it is tones. You also get the tones and shades. You have tones when you mix the color with white, you have shades when you mix the color with black. So you're not scratching your user's head by incorporating different colors. I'm just getting here another color. What is happening? It becomes really, really taxing. So having so much colors in your product is not advisable. And for the aesthetics, I'm not saying that product should not be beautiful. Yes, it should be beautiful to attract your users, but when they are attracted, what keeps them? Most of the times, you have to do a trade-off. You have to let go of the aesthetics in order for the function to stay. But it still does not mean that your product should be looking awful. But you should have it at the back of your mind that the function comes first. So if you're not that beautiful, it's none of our business. But the functionality comes first. I hope I've been able to cover that.
Very well, thank you. The personal presentation, like that of Rebecca Insurance, is it done by the product designer or someone else does it and gives it to the product designer?
The personas,
The personal presentation you just showed us, example that of Rebecca.
it is strictly the product designer. Yeah, the one that want to design. But it doesn't mean that as I showed us, everybody comes together. You have a meeting, you show the personas to every stakeholders. Not as if you're not the only one working on a project. You have your CEO, your product manager, your developer, the marketers. A lot of people are working on it, and everybody have to agree that this is the direction that we're going to. You understand? So yes, you're the one that will create it, but everybody comes to have an opinion about how it should look. They can tell you, oh, why don't you change this? Why don't you tweak this? Especially those marketers, they have problem. So it's not only you, but yeah, the soul is your responsibility.
Thank you. And lastly, this is a bit off the topic, but I want to maximize the privilege of having you. What were your defining standout moments? I can imagine that there were other potential people for the position you occupy. So, what's that thing that made you stand out such that you're where you are? Thank you.
Okay, so as a matter of fact, I can say that what can I say? I was willing to put in the work. So for the job, it's very common to see product design roles and they will attach their stupid what do they call design task. They'll ask you to design something. It could be an entire app that you're asked to design. You get. So for this one, it was really, really massive. I was to design a full website and some other things. It was like a real case study. But I was willing to put in the work and I was able to maximize the resources around me. AI, people are sleeping on AI. A lot of people are saying, oh, AI is going to make you not think. AI is going to make you lazy. My dear, even for this training that you're doing, you should maximize AI to the fullest potential. So I was able to get all of my content from ChatGPT. It looked like a real product. So when I submitted, I'm sure that that actually got me into the interview phase with the CEO proper. And right there, because I did this thing myself. Yes, I used AI for some of the things, but because I, as a designer, I knew what I was doing. When they asked why did you use this, I was able to tell them blah 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 because I was attaching the reasons and it was showing that this person actually knows what they are doing, not as if they went to go and take design from Behance and they replicated it for us. It showed that okay, this person actually knows what they are doing, and I wasn't scared to even make corrections, to some of what they've actually done over time. I was able to profile, okay, on your website, I saw this, okay, it should have been this, it should have been this, It's just simply me not scared to showcase what I've got. Even as you're starting small, you design something small like this, you show it. I'm the one that did this. So yeah, that was it. Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, let's we'll run our program. So, go ahead.
Thank you very much. My first question is, why is it that sometimes when designing a product, most times when they try to upgrade or work on the previous app, they tend to
Sorry,
downgrade.
excuse me, I can't hear you well. Can you move the camera to your face so that I can watch your mouth? Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Okay, my question is how to use Facebook and Facebook Live as a case study. If you realize the Facebook app, the main app, okay, let me use Instagram consumes a lot of data. I'm sure it's because people complain that it consumes a lot of data, mobile data, so they decide to bring the Instagram Live. But there are some functions in the normal Instagram that are not in the Instagram Live. Is there no way you, like a product designer, you can incorporate these two functions and still give the user a better experience?
Okay. So, as you said, you call something light and you said that it doesn't consume data. That is simply to tell you that the reason this is light is because it doesn't consume data. So the big difference between the normal Instagram, because I've not even seen Instagram light before, just now that you're saying it. So the difference between that is because you're trying to conserve data. So you cannot expect somebody that is using big data, somebody using small data to have the same experience, except because I'm using my own full data, but they are trying to conserve your own data for you. So therefore, we can't have the same experience. If I'm seeing high quality images, you'll probably be seeing very poor ones because it's data at work. So I don't think that is a uh, business of a product designer. It's simply the engineering because data is one at work here.
Okay, then the second question is, how do you handle the case of personal philosophy while working on a product? You gave an example that it's not nice for a food company to use colors like red and stuff. What if someone calls you like a product designer and says you should design, the person now telling you, because sometimes as a graphic designer, they will tell you design this for me. And the person say, this thing is not colorful. Add this color, add this color, add this color. What if that person is now their best color is red and they want to design an app for food? How do you tackle this as a designer?
Okay. So as product designer, just what the last question that this person asked. As product designers, you're also an advocate for a good user experience. You're not just design. There are some products that you're going to bring to my way and ask me to design, and I'll be like, I'm sorry, I can't design it due to personal whatsoever. So you're an advocate for good user experience. In my company, when they are asking me to design some things, and I'll be like, team lead, this thing that you asked me to design, it doesn't fly due to this and this. You should be able to educate the person. Okay, you're asking me to use this color. Asa, hope you know that this color, based on the color psychology, this is what it means. This is what it means. This is the kind of emotion you are evoking from your user. When you know it, it is only someone that doesn't know anything that you come and start dumping things on their lap and say that this is how you should do it, this is how you should do it. If you know it and you're standing on the fact that yes, I'm not saying that all of the time you're going to start fighting clients or fighting your team leads or fighting the CEOs. No. But when you've presented the benefit or the reasons they should do things your way and still they do not yield, that is when you can be like, I'm going to design what you want. But when the issues now start coming on later, when the effect of having this bad experiences that you've put is coming on later. If it's a client, for you to do anything else, you'd be like, I told you. So for me to adjust anything, you have to pay. For a team lead, you'd be like, at least you're not going to force it into my schedule that is on ground already. I have to take extra time to work on this because I said it. So in that case, you simply an advocate. Good user experience. So this color is good for this. This font is good for this. This skinny you're telling them, but if they do not accept, it is off your neck. When the repercussion comes, you'll be singled out. They'll be say, and this designer told us so. You actually be exonerated. But most of the times you don't have a choice. You probably have to do what they want, right? Any other question so that we can round up?
Okay, no one question.
Okay, so the assignment here for you, I wasn't able to prepare a proper slide, but next week things are going to change, and it is real world personal creation. So you have to create user personas for a well-known product. That is, you have to pick a product that you use. It could be something that not everybody uses. Your bank app, Instagram, Facebook, Binance, any app, and then you create three user personas. I'm going to drop examples of user personas on the group chat for you as well so that you can see. And you should also go to Google, type user personas, how to create user personas, what is the difference between user persona and this. The curiosity to actually learn very well about these things should be there. So you create three user personas, three different user personas for a well-known product, any product that you're choosing, right? And then yeah, you bring it to class, and I'm going to pass out to submit the mode of submission. I'm going to do it so that I can take a look before the next class and give corrections and recommendations where necessary, right?
Okay, please, can you take the assignment again and also the deadline to submit?
Okay, so I'm saying that everyone should create three user personas for any product of your choice. Pick a product. So the product could be a website, it could be a mobile app, anything, you know. So and create three user personas on that product. For WhatsApp, you can create up to 10 user personas. For Instagram, for TikTok, anything. Just pick any product of your choice and create three user personas for it. And I will pass across the mode of submission to us on the group chat or through Mr. David, right? So we did that. Yeah, so I guess that's brought us to the end of um, today's class or this week's class, and I look forward to seeing you in the week.
Yes,
Thank you.
sir. Thanks.
Still online. All right.
Thank you so much, Lee. Um,
Yeah.
okay, so I believe we enjoyed the class. We learned so much from today's session, right? Okay. Anybody wants to share what they learned? Just quickly. Want to share what you learned?
Um, Hello, Lizzie. Hello,
Yeah. Thank you.
before you go, this can you put back on your beautiful face? I'm going to take a picture. Yeah, so guys, let's come on. Find a way to find a way to outside if you want. Go closer to the screen. I don't know if you can stop sharing your screen so that we can have
Okay. So, Are you all there? Okay. No, no. Are you smiling? All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you too.
Okay, before she goes, very quick, if anybody wants to share what you learned, okay, so I thought that the class was quite insightful, and it feels like having an insider information, something you will get from espionage. So, because throughout my studies, I'm actually coming in contact with the personal presentation today for the first time, and it is uh, quite enlightening. So, from the questions I also asked, I've come to realize that whatsoever it is to go out there, because I engaged in the knowledge showcase and I was wondering, this is too basic, can I share it to social media? But I feel like I've got the boost to do that as well. And basically, that is it. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're
All right.
welcome. Thank you too.
Any other person? Okay, she has said it all. Okay, thank you so much, Please, thank you very much. We appreciate having you, and we hope to see you next week. Do have a
Yeah,
wonderful day.
you too. Bye.
Bye. All right. That's the end of the class for today and for the week. We are going to be in the attendance sheet. Please find your way behind or meet uh, his